gang violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. But I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's the Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. Let's get into the video.
Case. It's now a murder investigation. Developments in a missing man case. It's now a murder investigation. We first brought you the story in August. As the family searched for answers, police say the man left Gwinnett County for a date with a woman he met online. His truck was found in Detroit, but now police have recovered new evidence in Buckhead. Channel 2's Michael Dowden is live there on Colonial Homes Drive, where the man was supposed to meet his date.
Wow, so it looks like Buddy was going to go out and meet a young lady, but in fact he was kidnapped. Now, he could have been set up, it could have been a catfish situation, but this is how dangerous the city of Atlanta is, where you think you may be going out on a date, and that ends up being the last time you leave your home.
Yeah, that's right. In fact, the entire investigation seems to be centered around this apartment complex. That's where a search warrant was conducted in middle of August, searching in relation to that man who disappeared after going on a date. And according to just released police reports, they found evidence here that has led them to believe that he was murdered, most likely with a semi-automatic handgun. Now, we told you in August how Leandre Flint was last seen leaving his Loganville home with a change of clothes, saying he was going to meet that girl that he met online, but has not been seen since.
And he could have been participating in op culture, beefing with somebody, and then, you know, they catfish him and finesse him. Or it could have just been some sicko who was trying to take advantage of, you know, young men. Either way, very tragic situation. And, you know, I'm really interested to see what actually happened.
Instead, it would be days later that his maroon GMC Canyon truck showed up to Detroit. And we spoke to his family back then, who say that Leandre was a family man who always stayed in touch. And even back then, well, they feared the worst.
He met up with some young lady off of the internet. And since then, nobody's been in contact with him. I think he's in dire need of help. And then there's no more activity on his phone. There's no more activity on his work phone.
Now, the investigation in this case is still ongoing. One other thing we are able to glean from those police reports is that the suspect in this case is still unknown. We're live in Buckhead. Michael Dowden, Channel 2 Action News.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's your boy Jenquavius Jackson, and y'all already know I'm demonetized and shadow banned in this bitch. So if you want to contribute, go to the Cash App, the PayPal, the GoFundMe, or join the Patreon. Also, don't forget to visit the merch store for all your favorite BGZM News 17 gear, including our exclusive Trump is a Blood t-shirt. Go fast before they sell out. They are already flying off the shelves, no cap. And remember, these super gremlins are on demon time.
Now to a disturbing story. DeKalb County police have charged a 14-year-old with murder. Police say he shot and killed a 16-year-old last night when a group of teens got into an argument at a Stonecrest apartment complex. Let's go to Fox 5's Angelique Proctor, who has looked into the deadly shooting for us today. She is joining us live from DeKalb Police Headquarters. Angelique.
Well, good afternoon, Christine. Anytime a teenager is killed, it gives us all reason to pause. In this case, DeKalb police say the shooter was also a teenager, just 14 years old.
My heart is broken, is torn.
Neighbors react.
So we got kids killing kids. Obviously, DeKalb County, I've told you guys about DeKalb County, extremely dangerous, filled with these super gremlins on demon time. But in this case, we have a super teen gremlin, a 14-year-old who was charged with murdering a 16-year-old. And these young ninjas, man, they are animals, bro. I mean, they're literally catching bodies before hitting high school. So very interesting to see this happening in a community that is supposed to be so loving and so kind and so forgiving, we have our children murdering other children.
To the murder of 16-year-old Jalen Rogers, who was a student at Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. High School. Neighbors say the teen lived in the complex with his mother, but she had recently moved out. Barbara Williams, who also lives in the Quarry Apartments, said she came home to an active scene around 7:30 Wednesday night.
Full of police, lights everywhere. This whole place was blocked off. They were saying, somebody got shot. I was like, Lord, have mercy.
Another neighbor who didn't want to be identified says the apartment in question is vacant, and she was concerned that something bad could happen.
I reported it several times, yes. Multiple kids in there, unattended, going in there unknown to anyone.
Uh-oh, so you heard it. Multiple kids unattended, unknown to anyone. These sisters do not know where the hell they kids at. Sisters, come get your kids.
I thought someone would get raped or shot.
DeKalb school officials say a crisis management team talked with students on campus today about the unexpected loss. Back at the complex, DeKalb police are tight-lipped about the investigation, but they did make a quick arrest.
A group of juveniles were involved in a verbal dispute prior to the shooting. Interviews were conducted with all parties, and from their findings, the 14-year-old suspect was arrested and charged with murder.
And this was definitely quick work by DeKalb police. That shooting happened at 7:32. They had made an arrest before midnight. We are live in DeKalb County. Angelique Proctor, Fox 10 News.
All right, Angelique, thank you so much. A little girl is struggling to recover after a stray bullet left her blind. It happened at a dance studio on North Avenue in Athens.
The man convicted of firing the shot will spend decades behind bars. Fox 5's Christopher King spoke with Nevaeh Brown's mom about the life-changing moments and the road ahead.
So this one is, it really hits home because this is where, I went to college. This is basically where I'm from, in Athens, Georgia, and I'm very familiar with the North Avenue area. I used to live off of North Ave, and the homeless ninjas, they used to go through my my truck and try and steal all my stuff out my truck. So yeah, definitely some good times. And yeah, it can get dangerous on North Ave. There aren't that many shootings going on in Athens, home of the dogs, right? But when they happen, everybody hears about them. They're impactful, and it leaves a stain on a community that is not really used to this level of violence and this frequency and volume of just sheer violence and terror coming from, and mostly exclusively out of, the community.
That man admitted to opening fire, his bullet striking little Nevaeh Brown, forever changing her life.
She's scared to go to the bathroom at night. She's scared to do any extracurricular activities.
The last several months have been excruciating for little Nevaeh Brown.
Some days she's happy, some days she's sad.
The 5-year-old suffered pain and trauma no child should ever be forced to endure.
We hear noises, loud noises, we jump.
Nevaeh last April was inside a dance studio in Athens when a stray bullet shattered the glass and grazed her left eye.
My first instinct was getting her to the hospital.
Nevaeh lost that eye, her sight, and her mom says her childhood.
Wow. So, completely loses the eye. Very sad. It's just heartbreaking, to see these children who are continually affected by these super gremlins on demon time.
she's never going to be able to see on her left side. She only had 4 years of her childhood to be able to see.
Rashid Scott pulled the trigger in the parking lot during an argument with another man. Another bullet hit a 14-year-old girl in the arm. Scott last week was sentenced to 30 years in prison after he pleaded guilty to firing those shots.
I have to explain to her that he's not coming back. Like, he's not going to be on the streets anymore. You don't have to worry about him.
Nevaeh now wears a prosthetic eye, and she suffers with PTSD, along with the physical and emotional scars from the day her mom feared her little daughter could have lost her life.
She's not going to be able to live her childhood as a normal child anymore. Physical therapy and counseling, there's a lot of stuff she's going to have to go through. So her childhood is off now.
Nevaeh will spend the rest of her life with that prosthetic eye. Her family set up a GoFundMe page. We'll have a link to it on our website. In Athens, Christopher King, Fox 5 News.
Gang violence and other kind of violence.